We've all had that moment, right? You flip on the kitchen light late at night, and there it is, that dark shape skittering for cover, the cockroach. And for most of us, our first thought is just, ugh, get it out of here.
But have you ever stopped to wonder, why are they so tough? They seem to survive everything we throw at them. These guys have been around for hundreds of millions of years. They literally outlasted the dinosaurs. So what is their secret?
Well, let's get into it. To really understand what makes them so resilient, we have to look under the hood, so to speak. We're going to decode the biological blueprint that makes the cockroach an absolute master of survival. First up, let's talk about their exterior, because it's not just a simple shell. Oh no, it's more like a sophisticated survival suit, complete with high-tech armor and a state-of-the-art sensory system. Okay, so the basic body plan is pretty straightforward, very efficient. You've got the head for sensing, the thorax for all the movement, and the abdomen, which holds all the vital organs. Simple enough. But the real magic, well, that's in the details. And a huge part of that is this exoskeleton. It's made of this really tough material called chitin, and it's arranged in these overlapping plates. This gives the cockroach this incredible, flexible armor. It protects them from getting crushed, it keeps them from drying out, but it's also lightweight enough for them to move at, lightning speed. Now let's zoom in on the head. This isn't just where its mouth is. You should think of it more like a mobile command center, and it is constantly scanning the environment for three things: food, mates, and, most importantly, danger. Get this number, 2,000. That's roughly how many individual lenses are packed into each one of its two compound eyes. This gives it this incredible wide-angle view of the world that is exceptionally good at detecting movement. And it's not just about what they see. Those long, sweeping antennae, they're constantly tasting and feeling the world around them. Then you've got smaller feelers near the mouth that help handle food. But maybe the coolest part is the anal cerci. These are sensors on its rear end. They can detect the tiniest change in air pressure, like the one your hand makes right before you try to swat it. It lets them run before they even know what's coming. And what about those legs? Talk about a masterpiece of engineering. Each leg has 5 segments, and they end with little claws and sticky pads. That combination is what lets them sprint across almost any surface, even upside down, at crazy speeds. Okay, so if you thought the outside was impressive, the inside is where things get, well, honestly, just plain weird. Their internal systems are so different from ours, they almost seem to defy the basic rules of biology as we know them. Just think about that for a second. No lungs, no nose. How does that even work? The answer to this actually reveals one of the cockroach's greatest survival tricks. They breathe through their body. That's the secret. This image shows the tracheal system perfectly. It's basically a network of tiny tubes that pipe oxygen directly from the outside air into every single tissue. And the entry points are these little holes you see along its sides, called spiracles. Their circulatory system is just as strange. They don't have this complex web of veins and arteries like we do. Instead, they have what's called an open system, where their colorless blood just kind of sloshes around inside the body, bathing all the organs directly to deliver nutrients. So here's why this is so important. It's a total separation of powers. For us, breathing and blood are completely linked, right? Our blood carries oxygen from our lungs. But in a cockroach, the two systems are completely independent. The blood handles nutrients, and the air tubes handle oxygen. Now keep that in mind, because it's going to be super important in a little bit. So this unique biology, it allows the cockroach to push the absolute boundaries of what it means to be alive, especially when it comes to having babies and surviving insane injuries. To make sure the next generation makes it, the female doesn't just lay some fragile eggs. No, she produces this incredibly durable, hardened case called an ootheca. It's basically a tiny armored briefcase that keeps the embryos inside safe from everything. Predators, chemicals, you name it. Inside that case, about 14 to 16 eggs will develop. They hatch out as these little baby versions called nymphs. And to grow, a nymph has to shed that tight exoskeleton about 13 times before it finally becomes an adult. The whole process takes about a year. Okay, so we've got the armor, the weird breathing system, the separate circulation, all of these features we've been talking about, they all combine to make one truly mind-blowing, almost unbelievable feat of survival possible. And here is the final piece of the puzzle, its nervous system. See, unlike us, where our brain is the central command for everything, a cockroach's nervous system is spread out all through its body. It has these clusters of nerve tissue, called ganglia, all along its belly that can control basic things like movement all on their own.
What this means is the brain is just one part of the network. It's not the all-powerful boss. It handles stuff from the eyes and antenna, sure, but the rest of the body can pretty much operate independently. It does not need the brain to coordinate its legs or, get this, even to breathe.
Which brings us to this absolutely astonishing fact, taken right from our source material. A cockroach can live for up to a week without its head.
And now it all makes sense, right? It can do this because it doesn't need its head to breathe. It uses those spiracles on its body. Its open circulatory system means there's no high blood pressure, so it doesn't bleed out. The neck wound just clots. The nerve ganglia in its body can still make its legs twitch and react. And since it's cold-blooded, it needs very little energy to survive for days. It doesn't starve to death. It eventually dies from dehydration because it has no mouth to drink.
So the next time you see one of these things, maybe just pause for a second. I get it, you might not want it in your house, but you have to admit it's so much more than just a pest. From its armor to its bizarre plumbing, the cockroach is truly one of the most successful and resilient biological designs this planet has ever seen, an absolute masterpiece of survival.